Okay, legit. Episode 4 of Spy X Family was just perfect. Like, everything about this episode was perfect. Besides Anya being bullied. That was, like, the only... it was a bad part, but at the same time, it shook me, and it turned into, like, one of the most best scenes of the show so far. I mean, God, this episode was great. I mean, everything about it. You have, essentially, the family unit aspect taking over their best interest. Well, I guess you could argue that is their best interest taking over another best interest, but you have some cute parts, you have just hilarious parts. I didn't think I was gonna like Henry, this headmaster guy. I figured he was just gonna be overly over the top. When I seen the previews for the episode, I was like, oh gosh, this guy's gonna be annoying. I love him. Like, he's just against watching them do stuff. It was just so perfect. They had plenty of points where they were essentially doing something that they shouldn't be doing and having to cover it up. Like, everything about this episode was perfect. I loved it from beginning to end. It just played out so well. But yeah, pretty much going to the actual interview itself, which they come to find out the moment they walk in that they're already being tested. Like, they're already being examined. All these instructors are all watching them and just nixing people out of the picture constantly. And yeah, Lloyd, they immediately go to salute the founder, and that just completely throws them off. They were gonna write them off. And I like how they like went into the minds of them. Like, Lloyd's like, I've been 1,000 faces before. I can easily do this. Anya's like baldy. And yours like, well, as long as Lloyd wants me to do this, I'll do this. And despite them looking really good right here, they still have to note the fact that Anya's handwriting is super terrible and definitely not elegant at all. This went to the trapped kid scenario where this was like the weirdest thing, because they were pointing out that it was like unelegant for somebody to get dirty and then go to the interview itself. So it was a failure to be elegant and help the kid because you're going to get dirty. I guess, I mean, I like that it found a middle ground with Lloyd. Like, despite the fact that he thinks he's going to lose, he's like, no, I had a change of clothes. They literally Lloyd had 3 sets of clothes. Let's be clear with that at least. But I wonder if anybody questioned how elegant it would be to change your clothes in the middle of a courtyard. No mention whatsoever the fact that he changed clothes in the middle of a courtyard. I did like that they're constantly being watched, so they're feeling nervous, obviously. And one of the comments that Anya makes was that, I really want to pick my nose. He's like, you better not. And then the final test was the stampeding animals. I like how Lloyd's like, immediately, man, they're getting crazy with these tests. And the headmaster's like, this wasn't planned. Why is this happening? Big emergency. And I'm like, where the hell did all these animals come from? I'm guessing they probably have like maybe, I don't know, an agricultural area department of the school, which I guess makes sense because it's a big school. It's a really big school. But I got a huge kick out of the fact that the headmaster obviously points out, this is emergency, go help the big rollers. Like, there's big rollers amongst all these people, and we need to make sure they're safe. And sure enough, it cuts to all these guys running, and they're like, you should help me because I'm the CEO of this. And this other guy's like hell I care. I'm the Ministry of Finance. Like, it's like, obviously for the fun of it, just really pointing out stupidly who they are, just to be like, it's plainly placed exposition for the sake of comedy. And I just got a huge kick out of it. I don't know why. I had to watch it like 3 times. I just got a huge kick out of the fact these guys are literally yelling out, they're not yelling out their names, they're just literally yelling out who they are. But yeah, this turns into Yor being just awesome. I was a little bit disappointed because when she actually hits the cow with its pressure points, it's like you don't even get to see any animation. You just get to see that last shot. But the pose that she had was like super cool. So the pose at the end made up for the fact that they didn't really animate her actually hitting the pressure points. It was like beep, 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 beep. But yeah, Anya going up and petting the cow to calm it down. It was super cute. The whole cow thing was stupid. But yeah, this is when they get to actually go to the interview. They've passed the entering the facility segment, and now they're going off to the actual interview, which they had another set of clothes in order to pull that off. This was like super cute. A test of the family unit that they actually have created here. Super heartbreaking, and then like just a great ending to it. And I obviously kind of assumed that's where it was going. Again, obviously seeing the preview for the following episode, sometimes you can see things like this that imply, like, I knew Lloyd was going to stand up and possibly punch somebody, but I didn't really know the lead up, so that was fine. Like that verse before this, Lloyd points out the fact that he's the most stressed out he's ever been, more stressed than when he pressed the stop the missile button at 1 second. Like, he's done that trope before. But the thing they were trying to point out through all the questioning was that you have one guy that everybody likes. He's a conservative and he's really nice-natured. And then you have this one guy that's super crude, recently divorced, and hates the family unit. And then you have Henry, who's just kind of seemingly a neutral party. He just wants things that are elegant. But that really plays out with each question when you ask, okay, this is your second wife. Why is she even here? One guy's like, that's great. I hope you're a great family. The other guy's like, why the hell did you settle with this guy that has baggage? And it starts right here really picking at Lloyd. And again, this plays out from the whole situation that I was explaining with the previous episode, is this idea that Lloyd is slowly learning family, and he's slowly learning what's important in life. And that plays out significantly well in this scenario, as you have this guy basically prodding at this family, and Lloyd is conflicted. He's like, I should just keep my chill. This is for a purpose. Let him poke at me. I don't care. My job is this, not so much the family. But even still, as they're prodding at Yor and talking about what she should be doing as a wife, and then, eventually poking at Anya, he can't escape it. He's constantly fighting with himself. Like, what am I doing? I really need to focus on the job. I don't care. This is not really my family. But he can't stop himself. I love that. Even in the end, the moment that the guy, completely, I'm jumping ahead, but the moment that he asks Anya, who's your favorite mama? Your old one or the new one? And Anya breaks. Oh gosh, that hurt so bad. Like, the seiyuu for Anya pulled that off perfect. She had this very, very broken mama that was coming out. And it was hesitant. Like, she just had the ma part. And then she says out the whole word. It was like, it crushed me. Like, it absolutely crushed me that he was poking at something. It's uncovering something. And again, we've not technically gotten really anything about Anya's mother. We just know that she was from a lab and that she's gone through 4 different families before Lloyd came across. We don't really even know what happened to mother. Like, was the mother a part of her life? Was she taken away from her mother? Did her mother die and then the lab brought her in? But she seems to know something about her mother. Like, she seems to have some sort of memory about her mother. Otherwise, she would not have been broken up. Like, well, I've always been an orphanage. Who cares? This is my new mom. I'm happy. She knows her mom. And this picked at that scab. And so I'm not looking forward to what possibly could come in the future for maybe getting into what happened with her mother. But yeah, that was super harsh. And yeah, again, even though I'm crushed here, I'm like, my desires to punch this guy literally manifests in both Lloyd and Yor. Yor's over there literally getting ready to strangle this guy. Like, she's getting ready to kill this dude. And then Lloyd just jumps up there, like, his eyes. What I like so much about how they portrayed Lloyd in this moment was it was a primal rage. Like, his face looked like it was pure instincts. It wasn't calculated. It wasn't, I need to do this because I'm obligated to. It was pure instincts. He seen a threat and jumped. And that's what makes it, like, just based on how they portrayed his emotions in that scene, says 1,000 things. It says that it's not something else. This is, you stepped over the line. This is a father. Like, that face was a father that does not want somebody touching their daughter. Like, literally. And I was super happy to see that. I'm like, yes, yes. Sadly, he punches a mosquito, but it was enough. It was enough to really send a message of, like, back off. And it was great. Even following me. Again, this is the change in Lloyd. This wasn't, and I was, there was a side of me that was going to be mad if it cut scenes and Lloyd's like, this is all according to plan. This was Lloyd giving up the mission. He literally walks out with them. If making light of children's feelings is part of your establishment, I don't want to be a part of it. And he walks out with them. He literally walks away from his mission, which is to keep peace upon the world and all this kind of stuff, for his family. And that says everything about how he's changed as a character and a person. Now, granted, afterwards, he's regretting it and he's saying, like, man, this is all messed up. We were going to fail. He won. He failed, but he won. And in everybody's hearts, we all know Lloyd won. It was fantastic. But yeah, of course, we know from our perspective that Henry is not going to stand for it. He clonks the dude right in the face, obviously standing up to the establishment. Like, This guy is in his position because of his father and his lineage, and Henry wasn't going to let it pass. Like, I'm going to step up this one time. This one time, I'm not going to let this pass. You have made a mockery of our establishment. Now, I know I skipped forward, but I loved all the other questions for Anya, where it was always like they were asked a question and Lloyd like passively was thinking about what he wanted to do, not really necessarily what Anya is supposed to be saying. And so Anya's just repeating it. I'm seeking out the boss and what he's planning on doing. Oh, well, you're obviously seeking out for the big guy and see how he got to where he was at. Like, lucky, like super lucky got with that. But yeah, like I said, overall, this entire episode was just pure gold. Just pure gold. I loved the scenario that played out. It was just absolutely goofy with the entrance of the things and all the trials they had to go through. And again, that playing off of them hiding what they really are, but still trying to execute the plan that they're doing. In the interview, like I said, even though it was like super heartbreaking to see Anya cry, never make Anya cry again, show, please. It hurts. It was just great. But again, I guess I didn't note, but yeah, technically, we've heard from Lloyd before. He does not want to see Anya cry. It reminds him of his old self, and he doesn't want to see children abandoned, alone, crying ever again. So, but again, he won. In the end, he won. It was so good. Cannot wait for more. Love this episode of Spy X Family. Hope you guys enjoyed this impressions. If you did, leave a like down below, comment. Let me know. Did you love this episode as much as I did? I think it was fantastic. Best episode yet. Definitely. A great mixture of everything. Comedy, drama, guy getting what he deserves. He deserved more, but anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, if you have not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button on the channel so you can get all of my videos. I do episode by episode impressions of certain shows, including this one, as well as first impressions of all the shows, the seasons, reviews, news, anime top list, discussions. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support us more, we have a Patreon link and a tips link in the description below. We definitely appreciate everybody that supports us, and y'all take care.